Unconditional kindness is often praised as a moral strength, but in a predatory environment, this trait functions as a fatal weakness, acting like an open door for bad actors to drain resources without friction. Take Babulal, a man who runs a food cart in his village. He operates on a policy of absolute generosity. If someone claims they are hungry, Babulal feeds them for free, asking zero questions. This illustrates a concept known in systems theory as a systemic vulnerability. Any network that distributes resources with zero friction inevitably attracts parasitic actors. Because the system is blind to intent, it cannot distinguish between genuine need and calculated exploitation. In a corrupt environment, unchecked altruism creates a structural liability. Someone will eventually weaponize that open door to tear the provider apart. That exploitation arrives through Naresh, a rival vendor, and the Mukhya, the corrupt village leader. Together, they represent a predatory system looking to eliminate Babulal as a threat to their profits. The Mukhya realizes he can destroy Babulal's business by simply exhausting his resources. He orchestrates a daily operation, sending his own men disguised as impoverished villagers to consume Babulal's free food until the inventory is gone. This data shows the mechanics of the trap. With inventory constantly drained by fake customers, Babulal's kanu hits zero. To keep operating, he borrows external capital, and his debt spikes to subsidize his own exploitation. That debt transfers to local moneylenders, locking Babulal into a binding contract, trapped by obligations accrued while helping. The trap snaps shut. Moneylenders deliver a 3-day ultimatum. Babulal must produce the cash or face public humiliation and the total seizure of his cart. The system has successfully reverse-engineered Babulal's morality into a tool for his own destruction. Facing a debt that is mathematically impossible to repay in 3 days, Babulal collapses in despair under an ancient banyan tree. He looks up, apologizes to the heavens, and renounces his idealism. He makes a hard vow. To protect his remaining resources, he will never give away a free meal again. This is a state of moral capitulation. It occurs when an individual abandons their core values and adopts the ruthless, pragmatic rules of their environment just to survive a crisis. The next morning, Babulal returns to his cart a hardened man. He is entirely focused on survival, determined to collect only cash and save himself from the impending deadline. The Mukhya has achieved total victory. He has extracted Babulal's capital, and he has successfully forced Babulal to mirror his own cynicism. But an anomaly disrupts this new pragmatic mindset. A starving old couple arrives at the cart with no money, offering only a handful of useless dirt and pebbles in exchange for food. The external pressure is immediate. The crowd mocks the couple, and Naresh watches from the sidelines, knowing Babulal is cornered. He will either fail his debt or fail his new vow. Denying the couple food is the mathematically correct move for his own self-preservation. It is the only choice that leads to financial survival. But deep-rooted empathy often acts as an involuntary reflex. When confronted with visceral suffering, it can bypass the logical circuits of self-interest. Unable to watch them starve, Babulal breaks his vow. He empties his cart, trading his inventory for worthless dirt, effectively guaranteeing his own ruin. Empathy is not a strategic switch a person can toggle. Under extreme duress, it reveals itself as an inescapable state of being. Babulal returns home empty-handed. He accepts his fate as the deadline arrives and the moneylenders corner him. The disruption comes from his wife, Nirmala. In a fit of despair, she grabs the pouch of pebbles and hurls it across the room. As they hit the floor, the pebbles transform into a pile of priceless diamonds. The power dynamics invert. Nirmala uses this sudden wealth to liquidate the debt instantly, throwing the money in the Mukhya's face and removing his leverage over their lives. The act of giving away the last of his food, a move that should have been his financial death, became the exact mechanism that destroyed the Mukhya's power. The old couple appears at Babulal's door, revealing their divine nature. They had orchestrated this scenario to test Babulal at his absolute lowest point. This was a stress test of character. By stripping away every incentive for kindness, the divine figures proved that Babulal's empathy existed independently of his circumstances. The narrative contains a sharp irony. The same empathy that made Babulal vulnerable to the corrupt system was also the only mechanism that could save him from it. Cynical actors often manipulate the rules for their own gain. However, Babulal's persistence suggests that altruism doesn't simply survive a corrupt system. It can produce results that the system's logic cannot account for.